And welcome to the 2025 Clown World Roundtable, direct from a cutting-edge, state-of-the-art studio, as you can see, somewhere near Oxford. And this is where we attempt to make sense of and apply a bit of sanity to this crazy, insane realm in which we live. So we could be here for a while, and we probably will be, given that we've got quite a number of guests who are renowned for taking their time to express a point, shall we say. So first off, as is the tradition, we've got Dom and Chris of Sheep Farm Studios. Welcome, fellas.
Good evening, fellas.
Good
Evening,
evening.
Matt.
Hello. And we've also got Lance and Andy of Rise Above Live. Welcome back, guys.
Good evening, all. Thank you very much for inviting us back.
How's it going, Mark? Word to your nan, guys.
Annual roundtable that we enjoy so much.
Thank you. And of course,
I'm
the show
loving the
wouldn't
blue
be
and
complete.
red, by the way. I'm
Which
just
part?
saying, I'm not the only one that likes blue and red backdrops. You've got a good blue and red backdrop there. I like that.
It's all about the mind control, you see. Gets the
Exactly.
peasants in a subdued state.
Well, you've got to,
Might get a bit
you've got to
more
keep the
blue there.
polarizing dialectics active. Otherwise,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
there you go. There you go.
Anyway, Nathan, welcome.
Hello. Hang on a minute, Nathan. I've got a surname. Come on, dude.
Jumping the gun there. Nathan Lucifer
No.
in the house.
There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna get shot to shit for that one. Also, Mark, I'm not far from where you are at the minute. So I mean,
Well, this is true. You're in the Cotswolds. You've gone up in the world.
Cotswolds. What is it? Is it Cotswolds? Chipping Norton? Is that
Well, you
right?
come down from up north, but you've gone up
I did.
like socially.
Yeah. Gone up socially, but gone down in on many
I
ways.
thought
On
I
many
thought
levels.
Cotswolds was a mosque now.
The super mosque.
It probably is.
What, the
I
whole
thought it was
south
a
of the
mosque.
country is now a mosque. Oh, we're gonna have to start again now, aren't we? There you go. That's it. Take 29. I'm joking.
No, we'll just keep it going. So I wanted to explore an overall theme in this show, and that is, I don't know if you share my observations on this, but we seem to be living in a completely different reality to one that we might remember from a few years ago. And this seems to express itself in many different ways. For me, the most blatant way it's made itself felt is through my observation recently that the solstices seem to have shifted. I don't know if anyone else has observed this, but it used to be the case, I remember, that around the time of the summer solstice in June in this part of the world, it would be light until around 10 p.m. And at the winter solstice in December, it would start getting dark around about 4 p.m. What I've noticed this year was that it was staying light until 10 o'clock in May. And by the time we got to June, it was getting dark sort of somewhere between 9 and 9:30. Meanwhile, it was dark at 4 p.m. in November, but a couple of weeks ago at the winter solstice, it was staying light until almost 5 p.m. So either the calendar has shifted and time is being measured in a different way, or the dynamics of the sun and the moon have shifted and it's causing the solstices to occur earlier. And I checked this out with a friend of mine in Australia and said, have you noticed a similar phenomenon? And she said, yeah, I hadn't until you mentioned it, but now I look at it, it's getting lighter earlier here as well. So there's that. And there's also the fact that we've had a white sun for many years, not a golden yellow or orange sun, which I seem to remember from years past. So those are pretty major, I think. Solstices shifting and the sun being a different color to what it was. And then there's just the endless synchronicities that I'm experiencing, and probably many of you guys are as well. It's just got ridiculous, these numerical so-called coincidences. And literally these days, all I have to do is be out driving somewhere and I think of something or a person or an event, and a lorry will go past with that very event or the name of that person on it, like clockwork. And this happens every single day now. This to me is a very strange thing. I don't remember this being the case in previous years, and it seems to me that our entire reality has shifted and changed and altered in these very measurable, observable ways. So, don't know if you'd like
Mark,
to chip in with some observations there.
can I chip in first of all, because something very bloody strange happened with you and me the other day. Um, what was the name of the place that you were staying?
Oh, Seaton, that one?
There's where was it? Right. 2 minutes, right? I'll come back to it. Let me find out the name because otherwise it's going to sound stupid, right? So,
Just on
hang on
that
a
then,
minute.
Mark, I'll just chime in quickly. It's funny you should say that because I literally, like, we haven't spoke about this in the green room before the show. I messaged my friend Claire before, probably about, it was 14 minutes past 5 because I actually noted the time. And I said, it's still light out. It's technically still light at 5:14 p.m. Which I've never noticed it's light
shouldn't
at
be,
that
should it?
time. No, it shouldn't be. Not that. I know we've had clear sunny days down here we have anyway, and that there hasn't been any clouds in the sky. So obviously, if it was overcast, you would see a little bit less. But the sun was still visible up in the sky at 5:14 p.m. in the first week of January.
Do you know how I know the winter solstice was earlier? Just like you said, Mark. At my daytime job, we lift boats in and out of the water using a large 30-ton crane. And long story short, we don't lift in the dark. Our last lift is normally 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and at a certain time in the winter, we don't do the 4 o'clock lift because it's dark. And since my mum has retired, I'm in charge of deciding when we come down to the 4:30 finish. And I decided this year, based on the fact that it was dark at 10 past 4 and we couldn't lift boats. And Mum's like, why are you finishing early 3 or 4 weeks before normal? We normally do it on this date. And I said, well, look out the window.
It's fucking dark.
Look how dark it is. And it was literally, I think it was 4 weeks early compared to the normal date that we go down to our early finish.
Yeah, it peaked in November, clearly.
Yes. Instead of being early week 1 in December or something like that, it was like early November.
So do you think, going back to, I know something slightly different, do you know the clock's being altered? Do you think that is to try and throw us off this kind of thing, the timings and what have you?
Well,
No, I think we fucked with the calendars, didn't we? It should be a 13-month calendar.
28-day months.
28 day, yeah, it should be 13, 28-day months. So they fucked with it. That would have,
cycles.
I would assume, would be in with the correct synchronicities. But over time, that's obviously going to be out, isn't it? It's going to get more off and off.
And that miscalculation or that fracture over time will sort of create like a conglomerate effect.
It's like if you
might see a big shift.
If you get a measurement out at one end that's like 2 mil, by the time you get to the other end, you're 2 foot out. It's kind
so
of
you've got the calendars. Obviously, you've got the clocks going back. We've got our friend from Coldplay's great grandfather to thank for the clocks being altered, and all of these things obviously there to confuse. Going back to Mark's white sun as well. Is it just one sun? Is it? How many suns are there?
The weirdest one for me is the moon always up with the sun at the same time.
Yeah.
And
Chris,
so
this morning,
like 2 days ago,
8 o'clock in the morning, I was driving this morning, and the moon was where the sun would be at 10 o'clock in the morning. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Bright blue sky, moon directly. I'm driving towards it 8 o'clock in the morning.
Something's changed, hasn't it? I don't remember this anomaly with the solstices last year.
No,
I've only seen
I will pretend to watch
thing.
it, Mark, but Lance's observation there, because it's time stricter, that proves your suspicion, doesn't it? I suppose I would say, but I see the sun and the moon in the same sky all the time. It's very odd.
Yeah, they are.
I swear that didn't used to be a thing.
No, it didn't.
Am I stupid in saying that is like a new phenomenon of commonly seeing the sun and moon together?
Just
the last year
on, on this note,
Last
right,
year.
Lance, just read this out because you're a better reader than I am. Just check this out, guys.
Okay, from Wikipedia, leap second. A leap second is a 1 second adjustment that is occasionally applied to Coordinated Universal Time, UTC, to accommodate the difference between the precise time, International Atomic Time, TAI, I've never even heard of that before, as measured by atomic clocks, and imprecise observed solar time, that's called UT1.
Which is what we go by, the solar calendar.
Which varies due to irregularities and long-term slowdowns in the Earth's rotation, okay? The UTC time standard widely used for international timekeeping and as the reference for civil time. How many different times we've got now? 5?
Many times.
So that's so far 5 different time categories. We're now in civil time. In most countries, use TAI time and consequently would run ahead of observed solar time unless it was reset to UT1 as needed. Fucking hell, this is complicated.
Yeah, Lance.
Talking about a leap second.
There's this dude here. Like, my missus sent me this video the other day. I don't know if I'm not going to play it because it's like 2.5 minutes long. But he talks about this leap second and that time is off. That's why in my observable day, right, time is speeding up. I'm getting less time to do the stuff I normally had all the time in the world to do. Right.
This might have something to do with it. I've got one of these what is it, old Nokia phones, and for some reason, you know, you set it to auto update for the time. It just skipped back like, I can't remember if it was back or forward, but it went out of sync by about 20 minutes. And I couldn't get it to
well,
go back to normal.
They're basically saying with this leap second that they have to add a certain amount of how many seconds per year to keep the clocks and calendars in line because they fucked with it.
Right.
In a nutshell, in layman's terms. That's what this dude said in this video.
It seemed like my phone had some kind of flashback or something.
But that of course is the academic explanation.
I had a weird flashback today. First day back at work, I processed an invoice, got out the stamp where you put paid, and obviously the date on there was, you know, some date in December 2025. So I got the year. I put the new date in, 5th of January. Went to the wheel of the year, clicked the wheel 1 year forward, stamped it. And it said 5th of January 2014. And I looked at every stamp in the office. Because we got 5 or 6 of them. They're manual mechanical stamps. Every single one of them all ran out of date, and they're all null and void. So we've got to buy them all new again. Because it's obviously only got 10. It made 10 clickers on the little wheel.
Yeah.
So it was 2014 to 2025. So maybe the stamp makers knew something as well.
Yeah.
That last year was special.
We weren't supposed to make it this
That is
far.
true, but I'm reaching there.
Can I tell you?
The strangest thing,
Yeah,
what
anecdote
you've
I'd
just
throw
all
out.
said there. I was just going to say the strangest thing about what you've said about the time and the sun and the moon and all that is the fact that we had clear blue skies for the last 2 days. I mean, I found that the most bizarre thing ever.
And
that.
it's no
Good observation.
it's no secret as well that they didn't spray anything in the sky on fucking Christmas Day, which is like the return of the sun, isn't it? When the sun starts coming back towards the earth, so it's like
Yeah, but New Year's Eve,
they
start, I mean, I
spraying
don't know,
loads,
Mark,
mate.
you'll have
They've
seen it
been
as well
spraying
down here.
loads
They
since then.
absolutely hammered the skies.
Do you know what? I didn't see
Yeah.
a single chemtrail for 3 weeks in Southeast Asia. It was amazing. I kept looking at the sky and completely forgetting about them, and because I just didn't notice that they weren't there. But I look back in the photos, there's none.
That's what I said to you. You sent me the picture when you were there, like 3 days in. I
Because
said, "Mate,
you look at the sky straight away.
straight
don't
away,
you?
it's the first thing I do. Yeah.
Can I tell you guys
Mate,
about?
they were in when we were in Serbia. They were spraying over
Yeah, straight over.
straight over the top, and nobody was like noticed. First thing I did was I noticed straight away.
Congratulations, Mark, on being invited back to. Are you going to Anarchapulco?
Yeah, I'm going to be there February. Yeah,
Sick.
thank you. Good to
Nice,
be back.
nice booking.
Just before we go off, so I've remembered the name of the place. So I've gone. You know when Mark's talking about weird synchronicities, and I get a lot right. So I guess synchronized with the number 33, and I think I've mentioned this in the past with everyone present. Shell, yeah, Shell, total free, yeah, Freemason Shell, all the rest of it.
Not sad.
So on that day, it was a couple of days ago. So we paid a visit to the Bowler Hat Farmer. I don't know whether you're familiar. You need him on your shows. Seriously, he's fucking switched on something chronic. Anyway, we went to pay another YouTuber by the name of Eric Von Essex a visit as well. The
How
cafe
insane
that
this
he took
is.
us to was Cafe 33. It's like the number of the cafe was 33. And then we went to meet the Bowler Hat Farmer, and on the way to the Bowler Hat Farmer, my girlfriend's dog decided to jump out of the car. Like the car window was open for the first time ever. The dog just jumped out the window. It was like, what the hell? The place where the dog jumped out the window was the place where Mark was. Now, I didn't know that Mark was in a place called, was it Halstead?
Yeah, this was
Is
insane
this the
because
right
we were
place?
texting
How's-
and you said, oh, I've been busy, mate.
Yeah.
I've been in Essex. I said, oh, I was in Essex as well. I said somewhere near Braintree.
Yeah.
And you said, yeah, I was close to Braintree, a place called Halstead. I was like, you're kidding. I was in Halstead on the same day.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. And the dog, literally, I've never known a dog jump out the car window ever. And it just
The
like
animals
straight out.
know, don't they? The animals know.
Are you driving at 33 miles per hour at the time?
Oh, wait. The
66.
33s on that day. It was weird because when we met up with the Bowler Hat Farmer, we were sat at table 10, but when we ordered the food, they brought it out and like, they bring all the cutlery and stuff out. It was 33, like table 33. And I'm thinking, how does that work then? We bought 2 meals that day on two separate occasions. I'm not making any of this up. I can't figure this out, right? And I've been, the only thing I can put it down to is some kind of weird synchronicity, right? both of the meals for both of the different locations that we were with, like that we were in, £33. Shit, you not. I mean, what is going? That's
Matrix
that to
coding.
me. And when, yeah, what is this then?
You know, I mentioned
Because
earlier
that
that
is
I
mad.
think about someone's name or an event or
Yeah.
whatever, and a lorry goes
Yeah.
past. I was thinking about you one time because we were due to do a podcast together.
Yeah, I remember.
Just when I was thinking about that, a lorry went past with your name on it, your other name.
Yeah. My other
Do you know
name,
what
my
this
former name
reminds
before I
me of?
changed it.
Yeah,
My
insane.
my not shill name.
Yeah.
Well, there was
This
another one as
phenomenon-
well. Sorry, just to cut in again. There
Go
was another synchronicity on the same day. You mentioned, in fact, I think I mentioned first that the electrics went off here, which seems to be a common theme at the minute. The electrics just tripped, and I had to go through everything to see what it was that tripped the electrics, and it turned out it was the fridge, right? So it was the fridge. So basically the fridge died. It kept tripping the electrics, so we disconnected it, got all the electrics back up and running. I messaged you, and what did you tell me had happened to you and your household?
Yeah, the fridge freezer had failed, causing 150 quid's worth of lost food. And this was on the same day that we were talking about the Halstead coincidence.
Yeah. That's a coincidence. I think there's a franchise waiting to happen for that one. But just, I mean, I know to me, my mind was like, it was blown on that occasion.
You'll see
well,
why
what
I'm
the odds
making
of
the
that?
claim that this reality has somehow shifted. It's not the same.
When was the fridge thing, Nathan? Because my fridge
It
freezer went off the other day.
was when was it? Boxing
Last
Day was
week.
it the
Someone's doing
29th or
cyber
something?
attacks on your fridges, guys. Get out
It was
of the
just-
UK
it was just
Troopers
bizarre.
podcasters' fridges.
Mine switched itself
Fridge by
off.
fridge.
Yeah, mine switched itself off for some
Right,
reason.
can I just rewind a minute to this phenomenon that Mark's
Don't
talking
you mean an
about?
atomic minute?
Yeah, well, no, we'll go for a universal time civil
Oh,
minute.
right. My mistake.
Right. So, Mark, what you're basically talking about is like reality becoming more interactive and a lot more fluid and a lot more reflective, maybe of thoughts, right? And I'm not going to say that I'm totally familiar with the phenomenon you're talking about. It's happened to me too. I'm not going to pretend it's been happening to me every 5 minutes like you're saying it has. But what it's making me think about, you know how everyone has recently, definitely in the last 2 or 3 years, been noticing that not only when you start talking about things or when you type something into a search engine, you then start having ads pop up because Al Gore's always listening, right?
Sure.
Well, this phenomenon kind of makes me think about that, like that kind of terms. Like, okay, if the algorithm is always listening to what we're saying around our devices, some people have even started doing little experiments where you think about something,
Oh, yeah,
and then
I
it
said
appears on
back
the
in
ad,
2020.
right? So maybe that, you know, maybe the synergy between the algorithm and what's appearing on the screen is so good that it can now actually preeminate your thoughts. Well, if something has switched in our reality, then maybe those things going past on the bus is actually a similar phenomenon to a universal out. Do you see where I'm going with this?
I think it's more a matrix coding thing in terms of the way this reality is structured at its base core. Because you'll get more new agey types that will say you create your own reality with your thoughts, and all you got to do is think nice thoughts and nice things will happen. And I don't accept that dynamic. But I think if you take it a level beyond that, it can certainly be like a mathematical coding type thing. So if you're aligning yourself with certain thoughts and certain emotions, you can perhaps attract.
Sounds like you're
things.
swaying more towards simulation theory day by day, every time we speak.
I definitely
Mathematical
am, mate, yeah.
programming.
I definitely am. Yeah.
I was in the kitchen
You've had
today.
to sit down with Jason now,
yeah.
Mark.
Yeah.
Well,
I was in the kitchen.
I was going to ask about this.
Let Chris speak
Because
because he's been trying to speak for a minute. Let Chris speak for a minute.
That'll be his mic again.
Yeah.
Go on, Chris. Go on.
No, what I was trying to say, going back to synchronicity, I was in my kitchen today, and I get a lot of synchronicity, but this was one of the weirdest ones because I ran in and told my missus immediately, and I goosebumped, and it actually fried my brain. I was in the kitchen, I was listening to a podcast, and I was just packing up some sculptures, and they were talking about something. I don't know what they were talking about. I started singing at the top of my voice, "A spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down." I don't know why I was singing that.
That was
mentioned
nice,
medicine. Yeah, sorry.
Is that
But I was
Mary
doing it
Poppins?
really. I was being really silly on my own in the kitchen, and then it came on the fucking YouTube
No way.
about two to 5 seconds after. I literally stopped what I was doing, and I ran in with my tablet, which I was listening to. And I went, "Lou, I can't believe what just fucking happened." I said, "I get these things, but this was bizarre." I was reaching in the cupboard and singing it like a nonce, and then it just came on the YouTube, and I was just with goosebumps. I was shocked. It's the first time I think that one has really thrown me sideways. If
It's
I'm
not a
honest.
song you hear every day, is it?
No,
So,
and
yeah. Chris has them a lot, don't you, Chris?
yeah, I do. I do. But that
wait a
that was the first time. It's like usually it's something in your head, and then it happens, or you think about something. But I was actually a vocally singing. So took me slightly camp
I'll
voice.
mention
Could
one
have
that
any
I
device
mentioned.
been listening? Could
I
have any
mentioned
device
one
been
that's
listening
happened
to
to
you
me
singing?
recently, right? I've got a farm that's been renovated at the minute, right? So we've got a builder there. It's called Johnny. Okay. Anyway, and I actually had to write this down because you forget them, don't you? They happen that much, you actually forget the damn things. So my son went down to the farm and called me asking to ask the builder if he'd cut through the lock on the gate because he were there on the floor. Okay. Anyway, roll on 10:15 and I'm sat having a coffee, watching YouTube and this channel called Static in the Attic. If you haven't listened to it, you should have a listen to Static. He's an American guy. Anyway, I looked at my phone and my son had just texted me back saying Johnny had actually run over the lock, okay, with his truck accidentally. That's why it were broken. We hadn't been broken into. And I was just telling my wife, and right then on the video, Static in the Attic started talking about John Locke, who's a philosopher, right? So that was something that happened within seconds of each other. That Johnny run over the lock, and the guy on the YouTube video at the same time as I got the text was called John Locke. Okay, and that's the type of shit we're on about, really, isn't it? What Chris is on about there.
The thing is, with all of these things, all of these little synchronicities, these things we note, the programming into the simulation, if you want to call it that, like we will never truly understand why we get them ever. We'll never know.
No,
because is this the
You
same?
can you can ponder it as much.
Is it the same
as
as deja vu? It's got to be something along the lines.
You'll never know. The same as a dream. Like you will never know. You'll never truly know.
I'm going to ask Chris something. Chris, when you were singing that thing about the spoonful of sugar, could there have been any devices in the room that had a microphone that were connected to that YouTube feed?
The only the only thing in the room was my iPad, which I was watching the YouTube video. And it was a long video, just about random stuff. And he was submitting that video that came on. And it was about 2 to 5 seconds after.
I would say possibly, Chris, that a lot of this stuff is linked to like the Jerry Mazinski work that he did. I don't know if any of you guys
but the interesting
familiar with that work.
What Lance said, I think if it was listening to me, it wouldn't have been in the show that I was watching, if you know what I mean.
Oh right, so sorry.
Yeah, I was watching this hour video about certain whatever, just not much, slightly conspiratorial. I think they might have mentioned medicine, to be fair, a while before, and then I started singing that song, being really silly as well. And then they mentioned, then they actually had the clip. I think, is it from My Fair Lady? I think.
Sorry, so the clip was in the
YouTube video
podcast that you were already
watching. Yes,
right. I apologise. I thought the clip came up on the screen like it was in a feed.
That would make more sense if it's.
Listen, this one, my youngest
makes it a bit bizarre.
At 14, keeps saying to me, "I know what people are going to say before they say it." And I say, "Hang on a minute, what are you on about?" And he went, "Well, before people talk, I know what sentence they're going to say." And he's 14-year-old. And he said, "I keep seeing these numbers as well." I said, what numbers are they? He went, "Well, 9/11 keeps popping up." So some things, he's totally naive with this stuff. I haven't sort of told him about 9/11. Maybe he's heard us talking, me and Chris talking about it or something like that. But even youngsters are noticing that these. I said, "Anybody at school notice them?" He went, "No." So either I don't know, we're tuned into some sort of frequency or coding or something.
Can I chip in, Dom?
Yeah, of course you can.
So I tuned into a video about 33rd degree Freemasonry the other day that the algorithm provided, and all it was talking about is the secret of 33rd degree Freemasonry is basically manifesting your own reality. Well, you know from previous conversations that I don't go for that unless you're actually putting action into it yourself. If you're actually actively doing something, yeah, fair enough, you can create your own reality. But there's the other thing which says that the outer world reflects the inner world, so it's your inner state that the outer universe is trying to constantly balance with. I don't know how you feel about that. but it's crazy. It just took a couple of things out. I've noted down timeline shifts. I don't know what you think about that. And the other one is, I think Jason Brashears has mentioned this himself as well, about the matrix breaking up, like
fragmenting or cracking or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
if it's like, as if it's got some, let's say,
Glitches
bugs
in
in
the
it or
code.
something. Yeah, but then just what you were saying there, it kind of thing makes you think, well, is it because we're tuned into the right frequency that we can start to see all this? And that's why we're synchronizing with it, because we're seeing it. Are we the anomalies? Are we not supposed to see this? Maybe we are the problem.
Most people
with the
don't
system.
notice.
Maybe we're what's breaking it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying I go for that.
I think
yeah.
if I was going to say,
But
I think at one point, but it's become too frequent. It's like it's got more frequent with a lot of people, so that makes it. I think it's always happened to people. I think it always happens to everybody. Some people choose to ignore it, like Mark said, but then you can't just say that people are choosing to ignore it because they're happening on a rapid scale to a lot of people, I think, aren't they?
But this example of the solstices having shifted, everyone's going to be experiencing that.
Yeah.
Everyone is going to have been around with it getting light in December and darker in November. But it's not been discussed in the mainstream. I've not seen TV programs about it. I've not heard people having conversations about it. It's only the likes of us that seem to notice it, and yet everyone's being affected by it. How do you not notice these things?
Like the moon in the
Look at
sky,
today,
the same
mate.
time as the sun.
Right.
Well, I mean, I can kind of understand that, but what I don't understand is how can it be like dark in September at 5 o'clock, and then today, on the 5th of January, it's light at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, that's a bit. How would you explain that? I mean, if we're supposed to be on this clockwork rotation and stuff, I mean, it doesn't quite make sense to me that, and
you know what you said a minute ago, Nathan, about the matrix breaking down was, I think, were Jason's words or something like that. Do you know what this reminds me of? We had this guest on earlier in 2025 called
ZZ.
We had to remember the name. It was ZZ from Kingdom of Pineal. And this guy came on and he claims to have ancient memories of this information, right? And he basically said that the servers that are powering our fake demiurge reality that are buried deep in Antarctica are actually overheating and causing because they're running out of processing power. Essentially, there are too many meat suits on the network using up too much processing power, like too many players on the server in a PvP match, and everything starts slowing down and the frame rate starts fracturing. Yeah, and he was saying that there are literal physical servers buried in Antarctica.
I mean,
that's what's causing it to melt.
That is fucking wild. That is a fucking wild.
Absolutely. I was just sat there, just like open mouth, just taking this in. I was like, wow. But then it made me think about something, right? And I just took the idea, the Matrix is breaking down ZZ's concept of the
no one's allowed there.
No one's allowed there, right? And then I thought to myself, well, what's this like Mandela effect that people keep talking about? And it's got massive this year, and it's got so bad this year that some previous Mandela effects seem to have changed again, and people are arguing about whether it was originally. Have you seen this phenomenon?
No, I haven't seen this. No.
And I thought, well, if we are in some sort of like projected reality and the servers were breaking down, this would perfectly explain the Mandela effect. Let me explain. When you first had computer games, and especially shooter computer games, you would notice that when you shot someone, the body would hit the floor and it would have to disappear straight away because even the dead body on the floor was using up the processing power in early computer games. So as the processing power got more and more, when you would shoot people in the computer games, you could have piles of bodies, and zombie games made this very popular, and they would boast about how the bodies would stay there. Now, if you have an infinite amount of bodies piling up, and let's just say those bodies are the equivalent of memories, right? As you're running out of processing power, you might have to make those bodies disappear and then re-render them when someone looks again. These are memories. This would perfectly explain the Mandela effect. As the processing power of the simulation is decreasing, the RAM, the random access memory, is working harder to make the memories, and they're not matching up. And you're getting
it's wrong.
And you're getting anomalies and wrong memories. And to me, I know this is fucking abstract, but this would perfectly explain the Mandela effect.
So that does explain the Mandela effect, but it doesn't mean there's servers in Antarctica.
No. I'm not.
So,
but there might be.
there might be. But that does explain the
Mandela effect is a real phenomenon, whatever name
It
you
is,
put
but
on it.
I put it in the same class as deja vu, as dreams, as like, you know, those documentaries when there's like a child born that's 5 years old and they can tell you something that they couldn't have possibly have known from, and they said like there's from a previous life, things like that. I class all those things as the same, like unexplainable things, which to me is just more proof that we are in some sort of
I think
simulated reality,
I
which
think that
isn't perfect.
the difference between the Mandela effect is a dream's a dream. It's where we witnessed something physically change. I think that's what makes it a bit weirder, isn't it? Whereas a dream is a dream, isn't it? What I mean is the other things are explained out of someone's mind.
Yeah, no, I'm
know
not
what I
saying
mean.
they're similar. I'm saying I
Yeah.
class them in the same
Yeah.
categories. They are completely unexplainable, and we will never be able to actually know
What
as a conscious being like
Yeah.
that. It's and that I kind of
unexplainable.
like the romance about that.
one of
That
the
it's
meat suit
an
mysteries.
actual mystery. Yeah, it's a meat suit
Do
mystery.
you know what? When you were explaining what that guy said about the things in Antarctica, it reminded me of the FPV angel stuff. With he says that under the rainbows, there's these machines that are controlling the Earth. Is that right?
Yeah.
And it reminded me of that. So maybe that's something to do. I don't know.
It's along the same lines. I'm not that familiar with FPV Angel. I just know that they really hate the guy that we call Godvaj, Hodge
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I really
because
like
they
Godvaj.
claim that Godvaj ripped off their material in
Oh,
creating
right.
his theorem.
Oh,
They
God.
made a big beef about this a couple of years ago, and I watched a couple of their videos, and they were like 6-hour live streams, much like ours, but deep, fucking super esoteric knowledge. You'd have to watch 12 more of their live streams to understand what they're talking about, much like our stuff, really.
Yeah.
I've watched a bit of both. I don't see any Godvaj in there, to be fair.
No, I couldn't. I thought they were being.
Maybe, yeah,
I
but
think they were
maybe-
being bitter.
But
to be
maybe
honest.
they were. Maybe
Right.
they're talking about the initial Vagian theorem about the moon being a reflection. Because after that, that was only for like 1 or 2 episodes, and after that, it went way off.
Yeah, he's gone way past
way
that.
off that. He doesn't even mention that hardly ever.
An unfortunate name, Godveg.
Well,
Oh,
no, that's what we've coined him. We can't pronounce his name. He's
if you
Flemish.
if you pronounced his name in English, it would be Goj Vlamaster, but he pronounces it as Hodge Vlamaster because he's Flemish.
He's Flemish,
like the unsayable word.
I like his videos. I think he's good.
Yeah, I like his videos, but I mean, it's it's way
He's
out.
way
there.
out there. Yeah, he's way out
But
there.
again, like not everyone's got all the pieces to the
No,
puzzle, have they?
he's definitely got at least a few important pieces. And this conversation has just massively reminded me. I need to speak to Wim, aka Godvaj, and tell him to get back on YouTube, like I did with Mark. Mark didn't believe me when I told him that you could get back on YouTube.
I know.
You know how everyone.
Yes.
I'm still not monetized though, mate. They won't do it.
No, we can't be monetized.
I
On
mean, I'm
YouTube
back on,
either.
but they won't do it. They won't go there.
Mark, you don't want any of that Jew money anyway.
No, I'm just saying that if I
You
did,
don't want any
they're
of
not
that
letting me.
Cubish money.
No, but I
He
think
does.
it was-
He really does. I think I speak for Mark as well as myself. I mean, I wouldn't mind a bit of cash increase, so I don't care where it comes from. Just can I just notice
That's called Satanism.
This is mad.
that right there is called Satanism.
Don't tell
my man.
Passio.
Yes, thank
don't
you.
tell
thank
Passio
you.
was shouted
Where
at.
it- where is it?
We'll all get bollocked for that. What you've just touched on. I better be careful. I will say that as well. Well, you've got synchronicity, Mandela effect, and deja vu, right? All 3 of those seem to have something common about them. I don't. There's something weird about them, but it's all about.
That's why I put
past,
them in the
present,
same
future.
category, because
Yeah.
nobody had like. If you're let's go with Jason Brashear's model for an example. He speculates.
Yeah,
that,
I don't mind that model. I
speculation.
think it works.
He speculates that when you go to sleep, that is when your nervous system interacts with the mainframe. That's my I'm paraphrasing that. He doesn't call it the mainframe. And that's when you're uploading your daily data and then going to download your data for the next day.
Yeah.
That's how when you
like you're
upload
coding
your
for the
data,
next day,
that's
right?
how AIX can then predict your next reality tunnel. Basically,
if you stay up all night?
when you're plugged in? You what, Mark?
What if you stay up all night?
very weird.
Well, yeah,
can start to
yeah,
happen.
they do. Yeah,
Do you know in a lot of New Age shamanism, before a séance or a ritual or a working, they will often do their best to stay up for 6 or 7 days before maybe with some chemical stimulants to help, because like when you stay up for that amount of time, certain gateways start to open, and you actually enter a semi-lucid state, which is actually, it's like a waking dream. So the dream world starts to creep into daily life.
100%.
Marina Abramovich mentioned this once when she did some working with some Siberian shamans, and they said they went on a 2-week crystal meth binge before the ritual
Good idea.
to get in the correct headspace to do the work.
What are you letting in though when you?
But then, like, you look at Aleister Crowley.
He would have been doing exactly the same.
Exactly, like you look at that, because that's when you know, when I was younger, many years ago, when I think I was 18 or 19. I think I was younger than that. I think it's 17, 18. I did a speed binge with my mate, and I was up for like 4 days, and it was horrible. By the end of it, it was absolutely horrible. I clearly had some kind of psychosis, or like, you know, I just needed to go. I went to sleep. I was absolutely fine. So they woke up. I was absolutely fine. But my brain started going to really strange places. Just pure. I know, obviously, I took some drugs, but I took speed like loads of times before, but I never took that much and stayed up for that long. And like, it was very weird.
The people that do themselves in on those drugs, it's not the drug that does it, it's actually the sleep deprivation that makes
it's very strange what happens to you. It's not like,
And
it's
also,
almost like if you take some more, when you've been up for like 4 days, if you take some more drugs, it doesn't really do anything apart from make you more weird, make everything stranger.
You just go further into the demon realm.
Yeah, and it doesn't actually do, like, if you took the same drugs when you were sober, it would, like, you would have your effect, but it doesn't really do that after.
but also, is the
Same
end
with,
effect is the end effect? Is it the sleep deprivation, or is it?
I think that's what makes it so much worse. But again, I'll reference David Icke. He when he said he went to do ayahuasca in the Brazilian rainforest, he said it was I think he said it was a 3-day thing. You do it 3 days in a row.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, because when you do, I've only ever tried DMT, and that was with Lance, in a very controlled environment, very safe environment. I couldn't imagine going out to a jungle in Brazil or somewhere I didn't know, having this ayahuasca in an environment with people like, you know, shamans and shit, in that environment, and then you're in like an 8 or 6, maybe 10 hour experience. Then you've got like the daytime to go.
No proper toilet, nothing.
Nothing. You're like rolling around in your own vomit and stuff like that. I've heard stories about. I've never experienced it, but and then you've got the day to obviously come to grips with what has happened to you the night before, and then you're off again. Like, I couldn't imagine after 3 days something like that. That must take you to a whole nother level, because I would imagine you are somewhat sleep deprived to an extent after an 8 to 10 hour ayahuasca ceremony.
If it went bad, it could go really
to
bad.
A whole nother realm and back. Like,
And he was in his mid-50s when he did that.
He was, yeah, I believe. And but like doing that, I can understand doing that for one evening, what, a 24-hour period, but then doing that for 2-3 days.
No,
on the third day,
can you
imagine what your brain is like, just from what I experienced after a 4-day speed binge? Like with something with
ayahuasca or mushrooms and that, it's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Someone that's never done that stuff before, the first time they do it, it's almost like they can't actually sort of properly
comprehend.
Well, not even comprehend. It's almost like their brain doesn't have the right interface to even interact with the molecule yet, and it has to have another encounter with it to know what it actually is.
That's why they do the right.
Yeah. So for instance,
like the toad dude.
Yeah.
Like Dr. Octavio.
Dr. Octavio.
Explain Dr. Octavio for the viewers and for the panel here who might not have heard of him.
So there's this guy who's Mexican, and he's the only guy in the world. He's actually very controversial. He's the only guy in the world that has got a PhD doctorate in 5-MeO-DMT. And this special 5-MeO-DMT doesn't come from a plant. It comes from the toad, the Bufo alvarez toad. So you have to scrape the slime off the back of a toad, dry it into crystals, and then extract the...
You have to first frighten the toad so it excretes the liquid.
Anyway, this guy is famous because he lives on the border of... He's from a village on the border with Mexico and America, and this border village is absolutely riddled with the effects of being a border village and the cartel, i.e. 80% of the people in the village are addicted to ice, crystal meth. He cured his entire village using this toad DMT, and then he went all around the Amazon and got with all the shamans and got all the papers, and now he goes around the world with this toad DMT that is something like 200 times stronger than regular DMT
for free.
Well, you go there and you make an offering.
Yeah,
I spoke to this dude on Facebook.
You give him some accommodation, or you give you do a meal or something. But he won't take money.
You want to see the videos when people do it.
He's on YouTube. There's videos on YouTube. It's fucking amazing.
Don't do it in a hut or anything like that. He does it. You've got to be stood on a beach, and he's there like. And he does it with basically in what can only be described as a crack pipe with a blowtorch on a beach. And these people from all over the world come to do it. And when it hits you, they are like on the floor, writhing around and screaming while he's sort of like, hitting his little drum and stuff.
And he has a little puff as well.
Oh, yeah.
The little,
does it
tiny
like
little, yeah.
But
he'll give it to them as much as possible. And often you see him on these videos, right? They'll take a massive hit and then they'll want to breathe out and he'll actually cover their nose and their mouth.
So he'll sort of like, he'll full Nelson someone to make them hold the smoke in. So they're almost choking on it. And he's effectively the most effective badass shaman in the world.
Yeah.
But he gets a lot of stick, as you can imagine. But people go there to be cured of the worst addictions.
What's his name again, Hans?
Dr. Octavio Reddick, Reddig. And the way that I know about this guy is even fucking weirder. I was emceeing in a jungle rave in Laos in Van Vienne, where I've just come back from, my own song that I wrote about ayahuasca, and these two Italian dudes from the crowd came up and spoke to me, and they had just come from meeting him and being shamanized, and they showed me a video of them doing it with him on a beach in Koh Phangan or something, and I was like, whoa, and they said, yeah, we're here in this jungle to try and find the plant with the molecule in. I was like,
it's not a plant, mate.
Well, it's
a frog.
Yeah, but they'd already said that frog wasn't indigenous.
Do you know how they do it? They catch the frog, right, and they string it up, like they tie it by its legs and arms, so it's like that, and then they scare it and they have to scrape the back of the frog. It's quite mean what they do. They always.
How's it ever first discovered that you can get DMT from a toad? How do you?
I would imagine.
How do you come by that
somebody
knowledge?
probably ate. I would imagine somebody probably ate a frog.
Basically, if you lick the frog, you will get a light kick off it, but for someone to realize that if you actually scare the frog to get its adrenochrome out and then you dry and crystallize it, you get this.
That's what he did. He's
the first person.
He made a way. He found out a way to make it into a smokable form, basically.
Like,
he's the toad master.
Yeah,
he's the.
I suppose that's why MK Ultra used sleep deprivation and LSD.
But that,
absolutely,
if that, I've only done DMT once, right? But if that is 200 times stronger than DMT, I cannot imagine what that is like.
Depends what you mean by stronger, doesn't it, Andy? It might open up different pathways as opposed to it being stronger. It might just do different things.
I've had some very intimate mushroom sessions, and I've had some horrendous ones as well. But when I smoked the DMT, that was like, it was a completely different experience.
You're well surprised.
I was it was something I'd never experienced before. But I can't. That's what I mean. I can't imagine what this is like.
I wouldn't even do it. I wouldn't even do it.
Do you not think?
No, I don't.
I
wouldn't even smoke DMT anymore. The demon's already kicked my ass more than once. I don't need to do it again.
And again, if you've never done anything like that must be absolutely horrific.
Oh, mate, the unprepared mind could be absolutely broken.
Yeah, it could. Yeah,
I've warned so many people over the years, unless you are very experienced with psychedelics and mind-altering substances, do not try this and think this is some fun thing to do.
No, it's not.
You could be making a serious mistake.
Yeah.
A life-changing error. Break you.
That's
also,
a public health announcement there.
Yeah. No, seriously.
Disclaimer.
No, absolutely.
With ayahuasca, as I understand it, it's the leaves of one plant that are combined with the vine of another plant.
That's right.
To create the effect. And how is that ever discovered? Who first discovered that this exact combination of plants produces this effect?
I have the answer. The official answer is that the from the Council of Elders from all across the South America is that out of the 144,000 plants that are in that rainforest, to find the right inhibitor and the right active ingredient, because one of them has the MAOI inhibitor to stop your stomach muscles from destroying the active DMT in the other plant. So if you just consume the one plant with the DMT in it, nothing happens. You could drink a bucket of it, nothing happens. But if you find that one other plant that has the inhibitor and you mix them, then your stomach can take it in. It's a 1 in a million chance. And the shaman said that the jungle told them. You can also observe large apex predators choosing to separately munch the leaves, like panthers and leopards. They are seen rolling around
But this
in the
might
jungle
be,
after
this
consuming
might
the
be
two
right.
plants.
You think I've used this example so many times where we've been on Rise Above over the last 6 years now. I really do think that one time back in, when we were hunter gatherers or whatever, when we were back after a reset and we weren't, didn't have all this tech and fucking brain waves and shit and frequencies going through the air, and we were more in tune with like a deer would know if it sniffs something, it knows if it's edible or not. We don't know, do we? We could eat something and it's going to poison us. Whereas I think back in the day, we might have known, been more in tune
Instinctively,
with,
yeah.
yeah, instinctively. So that you might have just instinctively known that you need that to do that.
There are senses,
Without
that
we
may,
even know
there are
about it,
senses
yeah.
that may have been shut off, which we aren't even aware exist.
Well, cats
So how
do
would we
that, don't
know?
they? If you try and feed
Yeah,
your
it's the
cat
same
some
thing, yeah.
Watsits or some Skips or something, it's going to turn his nose up at it because there's no.
Have you
knows
seen
it's
the
no good for
video?
it.
Have you seen the video? It's quite old now. It's a Russian dude with a bear, a pet bear, and he's trying to feed him a McDonald's burger, and the bear will not eat it. He will not eat it. Because he knows.
I've got to
No,
ask at
no,
this
no.
point, what it wasn't cocaine bear by any chance, was it? I mean,
No,
that could be all-
nothing like that. It's his pet bear.
Cocaine bear wasn't hungry either.
Well, he was trying to demonstrate how shitty McDonald's food is because even a bear won't eat it.
Mm. I know my son said he's done a bit of foraging. Someone taught him. I'm guessing you guys might have done a bit, but he said when you've done a bit and learnt a little bit with his, he said he only got a little bit of knowledge, but he says when you go in the wood, it all looks different, which I thought was quite interesting. Yeah,
and it's really nice as well. You notice the seasons a lot more
Mm.
with foraging if you go out into the.
I've never really done it, if I'm honest. I've got a book on it that I've never
It's
read.
really good. I got really into foraging in about 2013, 2014, purely because when I was a chef, I was looking for the best ingredients. Go to a shingle beach, Chris, and try and find wild parsnip. It'll be the best parsnip you've ever had.
Really? I've never.
Yeah,
What's
wild,
a
it
single
grows
beach?
on a shingle beach.
What do you mean a beach of rocks?
Yeah, beach of stones like pebbles, and it's like it's a root, like it can be like that long. It's
Right.
massive, but really long and thin.
Fucking some mythical parsnip.
Yeah, it is. That's the real parsnip.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, wild parsnip.
That was part of your raw treat, wasn't it? Foraging.
Yeah. Prize for bringing back the golden parsnip.
So what else has been going on in this year? Well, last year now, 2025.
Fucking hell, what hasn't?
Yeah.
I hear they've landscaped a new place in Gaza.
They have landscaped a new place in Gaza.
Yeah, there's been a lot of what's the word, real estate development going on.
Yeah,
Massive real estate
Well,
development.
it's going to be a smart city, isn't it? They're talking about.
Yeah,
don't
I
look
mean, I
right
don't know
smart at minute though.
Isn't that a big theme of 2025 though? Whenever there was like a massive, what were we calling them? Unexplained combustible events, UCEs.
Yes, yeah,
And some
UCE.
massive place caught on fire, or this happened, or this place got bombed. Every single time, without fail, there is a massive PDF document, 200 pages long, about the plans to create a smart city in exact that place.
Like that, we
Whether it's a flood, a fire,
we had wildfires in fucking like March last year in Wales. I think it was like somewhere in Wales where it's like we don't have wildfires in fucking that time of year. You get everything wet.
That's not
I'm
matrix
loving
coding. That's human planning.
The drought
exactly,
coding.
yeah.
I like the drought coding.
I wrote down here the mask is off, and I think 2025 was a big year for that. And I think Trump has played a massive role in that, where things just happen now, and there isn't even an official bullshit reason for it.
I know, it just
like
happens.
Greenland. Yeah, we'll fucking have that. What's just I wrote down Trump and Maduro. I don't know if this counts. Did this happen in this year, or did it start happening last year?
I mean, it's happened before we've had this event. I mean, it happened yesterday.
It
happened yesterday.
Have you seen that meme? Have you seen that meme with that?
All the peasants are up in arms on social media saying, "Oh, if Trump can like like surgically execute a kidnap of like why isn't like Fauci in jail for COVID?
Have you seen that meme
He
where
was
he's
jail for
where he's in
9/11, and why is Hillary Clinton still walking around and stuff? Like everyone's just up in arms about like the stuff that's not going on.
have you seen that meme where that Madero's in jail with Puff Daddy? Puff Daddy's handing him some baby oil. They said, "I hear somebody's taking your oil."
Yeah, we both got done with oil. We both got done for oil.
Did he even bomb Nigeria as well, Trump? Didn't he?
No, not yet, Chris. Not yet.
No, he did.
That's next
He
on
did.
list.
No, he did.
No, he did. He did
last week.
He's actually gone through with it to teach the anti-Christians a lesson.
He just dipped his toes in the water.
But he went under the radar, didn't it?
Killing Christians, we're going to bomb more.
But he actually bombed Muslims.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
But isn't this the same guy that said he was never going to go to war with people because he didn't want to go into illegal wars for? I mean
They're not illegal, though, Nathan.
Oh, come on, mate!
They're not
you
illegal.
should know by now what a politician says. That Zohan Mandani in fucking New York said he was going to make the bus free for everyone. Cunt's gone and put the fucking prices up of the bus fares.
Yeah, but Andy, you mean that guy who was anti-small hat that was funded by the Soros family?
That guy's a small.
Oh, right. Let's get into. Should we get into this? Then?
He's actually funded by George Soros' son.
Right.
Let's say this is the
You've just mentioned
non-YouTube
George
part,
Soros.
so-